Hello again, YouTubes. This is Grim Weird coming at you with more Enigmatica 2 Expert Mod Pack action. And as always, we have our lovely avatar Zombie Steve here. So today, I think what we have on the menu is busting open a bunch of gates for us. So one of them I just actually did before I started recording. The basic machine casing, we were going to work on that last night, but sort of ran out of time. Um, you make four of them. I think I've mentioned this when opening other gates, but the basic machine casing, if we take a look at this, a lot of these gates here where you're making this kind of stuff, especially the mechanism, actually additions, you're making actual casings for the machines in that mod. So if we take a look at industrial crafts, this basic machine um, casing, if we go into industrial craft, we can see that there are a whole bunch of machines here, and each one of these machines is going to end up taking one of those. I know that I'm going to want to at least make a generator, a macerator, an extractor, a compressor, and then they are required for the advanced machine ones. And we're going to want at least an induction furnace um, as well pretty quick. So I got a lot of these to make, so rather than in the gate only required one, and the recipe for it, if we take a look at that, makes four. I went ahead and tripled that up, so we now have 12 of these bad boys, and that will be good for several industrial craft machines. And also, you do occasionally use these in bigger machines where you have to use the basic components from multiple mods together. So that's going to be good for us. I went ahead, we've got iron ore. We went and got rubber last episode. I planted the rubber trees, so those are growing. So I went ahead and took the 8 overclocker upgrades. And so now, pardon me, so now if we go to industrial craft, we can say, yes, we made that. And then we're going to claim it. And we also went ahead and got rubber ahead of time. So we have all of that stuff, or have had it. So that counts. So we get some loot chests, speed upgrades for mechanism. Definitely going to put those to use. I'm happy to have those. 8 of those, that's good. Because we're going to try and open up mechanism tonight too, and a Robit for mechanism. I haven't quite figured this guy out. I got one of those in my trial game of this. And it's apparently some sort of pet that can act as a crafting table and do things for you that you can carry around with you or something. It didn't look too horribly necessary, so I didn't pay too much attention. But as soon as we have a way to charge it up, I will take a look at that again now that we're getting serious about this mod pack. All right, so we've struck into industrial craft. This compressor is used in a ton of stuff. If we go back to the gates, these pipes, lapis lazuli plate, we need a compressor. If we look at the nuclear craft manufactory, mixed metal ingot, we want a compressor. If we take a look at the machine case for this industrial foregoing, advanced machine, we want advanced alloy. It'd be nice to have a compressor. Technically, I guess we don't need a compressor for that, because that's what you get the advanced alloy when you compress the metal ingot. So we could, in theory, maybe get this one going without it. But still, bottom line is we're going to use the compressor in a lot of things. So for industrial craft, we're just going to make a beeline towards compressor and advanced alloys because we know we're going to need those. The rest of this stuff looks interesting. I'm not exactly sure what it is. We'll get into it. One thing I have to keep in mind is that the energy units for industrial craft are not compatible with the RF that we got now. So we will probably have to, I think when I tried this out before, I just got the generator and just threw some charcoal in it to hold me over until I had something that would convert between industrial craft and other RF type power. Because I think a lot of the mechanism stuff will just automatically convert for you. So we'll get to that. All right, so let's go on to the next gates. Actually additions, we want to get this running. Iron casings, again, this is going to be sort of a basic component. So to decide how many I'm going to make, I'm going to take a look at actually additions. Now I know I'm going to burn one up on the atomic reconstructor, but to be honest, there aren't a ton of machines here. This crusher, I'm going to have a lot of overlap with the crusher from Extra Utilities and with the macerator from Industrial Craft. So I'm not in a huge hurry to make a ton of machines that will probably require the iron casing. So probably what we will do is when we open this gate for the Actually Additions is we'll go ahead and just make, you get 2 of them. Maybe that's all we'll do for now. So let's take a look at that. We need a hardened casing. So that's in the carpenter. We need 5 buckets of water, a sturdy casing. That is one that we definitely made extras of because we knew we would need them, and some diamonds. So let's get that cooking. So get out a bucket. Come over here to our carpenter. Throw 5 buckets of water in there. And of course, we're still in the early days here, so eventually we will have water piped into all of this stuff and items piped into all of this stuff and be doing all of this a lot more manually, or I mean a lot more automatically. But the nice thing about doing it slow through this advanced mod pack or expert mod pack is that you really appreciate things more when you have to do it the hard way for a while first. Or at least I do. I think 2 of these ought to be, 2 recipes of this ought to be good enough, which means we're going to need 5 more buckets of water. Let's see, inventory needs resources. Oh, so I need to put 8 diamonds in there. And I need to keep feeding in water. So we're going to need another 5 buckets. All right, and it is cooking. It has made 1, and it's cooking the second one. It's so nice to have power and have these all wired up and not have to worry about it. So we got our 2, yay. Plenty of power there. Plenty of power there, so everything is still all powered up. I think that little power plant we have in the ceiling is going to do fine for us for quite a while. So then, what else did we need? We are making iron casings, a double recipe. So the iron sheet metal, we just need 8 iron plates. And for the tin electron tubes, we're going to use the thermionic fabricator. So for that, we're going to need 10 ingots and 4 redstone. I think I have 10 ingots here somewhere. Maybe not. Blocks of 10. There we go. All right, we got 10 ingots. We got redstone. Now the the thermionic fabricator, it uses glass, liquid glass, so you have to give it, we'll give it that since it's only taking up one spot. You have to give it sandstone or sand. The sand would be over here. So again, we're going to teach it the recipe, which is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And we want 10, 10. And redstone, and we want 4 of that. Now it starts heating up, but it's going to need some sandstone up in this spot to get going. And it needs to cook it all the way up there. So it's telling me I don't have the liquid, and that's because it needs to melt this sandstone as this goes up and the heat goes up to form the liquid glass. And I'm not sure how much it needs. 2 recipes. It's probably going to have leftover, but that's okay. So we're cooking and we're cooking and we're cooking and we're melting and we're making glass. While that's going on, I don't think I have enough iron plates, so we'll start busting those out. We needed, I think, 8 of them. So if you'll remember many episodes ago when I set up the smelter, it was sort of a departure from my usual. I'm an old guy doing the old vanilla stuff, so I was used to the old, you had to make it 3 by 3, and so that's just the way I've always done it. I did go ahead and make a departure from that now. Since they don't have to be 3 by 3, I made it 2 by 8 and stuck it in the wall. And I'm actually really liking it. It could use some more automation, but I think by the time I get sick of having to do this kind of stuff, we will already have a small, or we'll have the immersive engineering metal press. So this has been working out really well for me. I like that it's sort of stuck in the wall and out of the way. And there we go. We have our 8 tubes. And so this was for the iron casing, was it? Yes, iron casing. So now we just need to make the sheet metal. And we were going to do that twice. And we were going to double up this recipe and have 4 iron casings. We're going to burn one almost immediately on an atomic reconstructor. And so we'll probably need 2 or 3 more after that in short order. So we got another gate. Now here, this is iron casings aren't that bad to make, and we can make those, and we've got those, and we've probably got enough now that we don't need any more for a bit. But this is sort of a hard call. I want both of these, the advanced machine casing and the heavy engineering blocks, but I think the heavy engineering blocks are going to be the ones I want first. So I'm going to go ahead and take those. And now we have the ability to go to the Actually Additions tree and claim our manual. And we already have some worms sitting around somewhere that I dug up. If you'll remember, just a warning, it may have just been me and it may have just been my other game, but you get worms when you're plowing up grass blocks into farmland with your hoe or your mattock or whatever you're using. And I got them and I put them down and I came back the next day and they had disappeared. Okay, here it is right here. They die after 10,000 ticks in this pack. So it was not a bug. It was not my imagination. Your worms die. So if you're in the game and you're making yourself a little patch of farmland, do yourself a favor and just throw a worm in your inventory's chest somewhere to hold it so that you can immediately get this loot chest and don't have to go try and find more worms. And the ranged collector we actually picked up as a reward out of a loot chest. So boom, boom, we got some stuff. Now the thing we need to really need to make here is this atomic reconstructor. It makes a lot of those things that we've been getting, like the Inori crystals and the Restonia crystals and the diamantine crystals. It makes those things, and we need those things. Again, the cross connectivity of this mod pack requires that you grab some of those and use them in recipes for other mod packs. So it actually gave me 2 books. An Eye of Ender. That seems like a reasonable thing to get. And an EFLN, Explodes, Safe for Mining, Tinker's Construct. I do not know what that is, but now I've got one. Alrighty, so how are we doing here? So on our gates, we open that, we open that. I want to open Mechanism too. I think I have everything I need for that. We actually got some steel mechanical components out of the wooden crates in front of immersive engineering buildings. So we already had a couple of those, which is why I love finding those immersive engineering buildings that are made out of brick and treated wood in villages, because you can get some stuff that'll save you some time. So we already have 2 of those steel ones, and blast bricks. I think my blast bricks are upstairs, so let's go grab those. So here are my blast bricks, and is there anything else I need while I'm up here? I don't think so. So yeah, today is all about just busting through some of these tech gates. Now that we have a power system in place, now we're ready to do some damage. We're ready to set up a bunch of machines and go to town. So I think I need a steel plate for that, so let me double check before I get carried away. So we are making, what is it we're making? We are making steel casing. Osmium I have, steel mechanical things I have, reinforcing the blast bricks, so yes, I need a steel plate. So I'm going to pop a steel ingot in there, make a plate out of it. I'm hoping that by the end of next episode we have our immersive engineering metal press. That thing will make all of this making of plates and stuff much easier. Just throw the ingots in a box and it'll chug them all out for us. So looking forward to that. While we're waiting for that, we have, I don't know why we've got 2 Actually Addition books, but we are going to go ahead and pull out our Akashic Tome, left click in space to turn it to the base Akashic Tome, throw it in here with an Actually Additions book to combine them, and now if we right click we can select Actually Additions and use it that way. And I'm going to go ahead and just destroy the spare. Throw it in the trash can. So we are good to go there. And we have molten steel now. And we've got our steel plate cast back in business. We want one of these and one of these. Now I should go ahead and make the other 26 of them and build the advanced blast furnace, but I'm just not sure I'm in the mood right at the moment. It's a lot of steel to use. I want to make sure I have enough to get these initial machines out of the way before I use it up. I think I've got plenty. I've still got almost 2 stacks of steel, so I'll probably go ahead and do that next time. But for right now, we were making the steel casing, was it? Yes. Osmium blocks. Okay, we got to make another osmium block. We can do that. And then away we go. 2 is not really going to be enough. But let's see how many I think I'm going to need. So for mechanism, so I think I already have a few of the, I've already got 8 of the speed upgrades. So I think what I'm going to do is take 8 of the energy upgrades. What I found was that if you put more than about 4 speed upgrades into a mechanism machine, it starts sucking so much power that it makes everything come to a halt anyway. So, but by taking 8 speed, and now I have 8 speed and 8 energy, I can dump a bunch of speed and a bunch of energy into one machine and make it really cook fast if I need to. So that'll work out good. Now let's go to mechanism and see what we're up against. I'm going to claim, get one configurator. Mechanism is a tier 2 tech mod. Wow, look at us go. This chapter leads to the heavy machinery from immersive engineering as well as thermal expansion. Yes, please. I need some heavy machinery. I need that metal press from immersive engineering. So much like the compressor from industrial craft, these 2 machines, the metallurgic infuser and the enrichment chamber, are used a lot. These control circuits and circuit boards and enriched alloys are used in a ton of other recipes in other mods. So getting this bad boy up and running ASAP is going to be a priority. I don't know if I've got enough to make all of that. Let's see. Metallurgic. Infuser. An external heater. Requires a bunch of copper. Okay, so I'm going to have to make a bunch of copper wire and for that, so that's going to take me a bit. So I will probably do that in between episodes. But we're going to want that, and we're going to want the enrichment chamber ASAP. And this also leads us to, I really like these wind generators. The advanced solar generator is okay, but it's noisy. I have to make one to progress down this chain of loot. So I will probably make one and throw it over by our cattle farm. And then when I make the wind generator, I might actually make a few extras and leave them upstairs by our fort, because they are also vaguely noisy, but it's a pleasant wind whooshing sound as opposed to an annoying buzzing electricity sound like the solar generators. When I was reading about these, I hear a lot of people go towards the gas burning generator. I haven't made it that far when I was playing around with this, so maybe we'll go that way. I did make it to biofuel and the biogenerator, and that seemed to produce plenty of power. So that could give us an extra source if we aren't getting enough from our thermoelectric stuff that's up in the ceiling. But like I said, the first order of business is getting these 2 machines and getting the industrial craft up through compressor. That's going to be key. And also we want to get the atomic reconstructor. It would also be good to get into thermal or industrial foregoing so that we can start making plastic. That's going to be another key one. So let's take a look at that. Since we're in a gate bashing mood today. Industrial foregoing, machine case, advanced machine casing. That's the one I chose not to get. I got the heavy engineering block instead. So perhaps that was a mistake. But actually I need the compressor anyway because the carbon plate can only be made through the compressor. So, okay, I chose correctly. So I got to get the industrial craft compressor before I go for this. So that'll be a couple episodes from now. I'm not at all familiar with ex nihilo. This, I think, was probably something that was put in place for all of the skyblock things, where you sieve stuff to get blocks. I am not familiar with any of this stuff at all. I've never really played a skyblock. So we'll have to see what we get into that eventually. So yeah, that's probably about as far as we're going to go for today. Yep. So we've got a plan. I'm gonna round up the components for the first few industrial craft machines and the first couple of mechanism machines. And then once we have that, we will open up a whole ton of possibilities for us and allow us to get into some serious stuff. We'll really start actually making some technological progress at that point. All right, so I am going to call it an episode. I've been babbling on and on, but we opened a lot of gates in this episode, so that was good. Got like 3 gates opened, and we made a couple little dents into some of this other stuff, so that is good. That's the other thing I want to do. I want to make some fire mills, so I'll look into that. So in between this episode and next, I'll be doing a lot of making sure I have all the components necessary to bash us through some more of these loot chests. Until next time, thank you for watching. Good night.